Business owners have concerns over when they're taking out additional funding through the PPP program or the EIDL or EIDL, Economic Injury Disaster Loans, through the Small Business Administration. They're concerned about, well, if my finances are bad, should I file bankruptcy? Is that a better option? Should I take out this loan and hope things get better? And what are the repercussions if I take this out? Can I later file bankruptcy? Typically, the answer is yes, you can later file bankruptcy if things don't work out with the PPP or the EIDL loans, and you can eliminate them in most cases with a bankruptcy as well. However, you do need to be cautious because you don't want to be misleading the Small Business Administration when you're applying for these loans. Because if you take out a loan and shortly thereafter file bankruptcy, the bankruptcy trustee is going to be reviewing your case. Small Business Administration might be wondering where the funds were used, if they were used for an appropriate purpose, for a business purpose. And there are specific purposes that are used for a PPP in the regulations and also for the EIDL loan. So you have to make sure that those funds were used for legitimate business purposes in compliance with the regulations. Also, your loan applications and everything that you sign and submit must be accurate, because you don't want to submit anything that's misleading, because that could lead to personal liability down the road. The SBA could, if you did file a bankruptcy, they could try to object to your bankruptcy and say that the PPP loan, for example, is not dischargeable, or the EIDL loan is not dischargeable because maybe you lied, there's fraud involved in your loan application. So you need to be very cautious when applying for those loans. But as long as you do everything correctly, even if things don't work out for your business, you still later can go in and file for bankruptcy. And also, even if you're in a bankruptcy, let's say it's a Chapter 11 reorganization, there may be the ability to take out additional funds in an EIDL loan or PPP loan. The provisions signed in December of 2020 do extend the ability of obtaining a PPP or EIDL loan as a debtor in bankruptcy. However, the SBA has not yet implemented regulations to allow that, but that may be allowed down the road.